Hello everybody, Ministorm here. Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, the Africa campaign featuring the Modern Day 4 mod. In the last episode, we worked on reorganizing our armies and starting to distribute them out to the various fronts that we're going to need to be on in order to engage and eventually destroy the Eurasian Union, so that we can absorb their allies in Africa. That's the primary goal. But we're going to have to knock out, another large chunk of the planet to be able to do it. So, that is what we are going to need to do. Now, there are a couple of small issues. One of them was pointed out in the comments, and that is that we have no division, or no army, up here on the Russian border with Norway. So that is a potential issue. I mean, we could just leave it and let the Russians march through Norway. I mean, they'll have to dedicate some units to do that. And meanwhile, we'll just push in here and we'll knock them out. But I think we'll go ahead, we'll put an army up there just to hold them back. And the other thing that I noticed is that I didn't put anybody over here in Ecuador. So we're going to need to put an army out there. And, before I get too much further into this, I do apologize if my voice is a little rough, or I get a little gurgly, which is about to happen here. I'm still getting over a cold, and, I'm actually getting into the part of the cold where I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm sounding a lot worse. So we're going to go ahead and get to work on that. We also have to work on a little bit of reorganization with the Navy. Primarily just making another carrier group. I think we probably have enough ships to put one out. Putting together some subfleets, even though they're still old, obsolete designs. We want to have them anyway. And we're also going to want to redistribute the Air Force. I was thinking that I was going to leave the planes where they are, and then just move them into the theaters where they're needed as things go. But I think I'm going to set up some preemptive distribution of the Air Force so that the planes are already in place when we start. So, that is what we're going to get to. Alright, so first thing we want to do is we want to... I'm actually going to slow the game down a little bit and unpause it while we do this, because we do have a bunch of divisions that are in need of getting where they need to go, so might as well let them do that. But I don't want to be running at full speed because it tends to slow the game down a bit. Alright, so we already have all of these divisions in training that are going to be filling out some of the missing pieces in our existing armies. But we're going to need 2 new armies, one to go into Ecuador, one to go into Norway. And for Norway, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to make another general infantry division. So let's go ahead and start training our infantry army. I always keep saying the wrong word. Alright, so we're just going to train the entire thing. Even running at speed 3, it's still slowing down a bit. Oh. Or maybe it's just running slow. Okay, 24. And we're not going to give these guys any orders to join any armies because we want to create a new one. Let's just drop them out somewhere here. And I think for Ecuador, what I was really wanting is another army of armor. Just straight up tanks. We only have one at the moment, and I think we could use another. And I think that should be good enough to deal with Ecuador, even though it is a pretty mountainous area, so the tanks will have some difficulty out here. But, this is pretty flat. This is pretty flat, and it is forested, but, mean, armor would be better. It would be better for this front. I mean, to be in Russia. But I need somebody to head over there. Oh, and as you can see, I did split all the armies up into theaters. I reorganized the army groups a little bit. I had to create a couple of new army groups. So, do I want to move someone from Europe to the Americas? Not really. Why is the game chugging like this? Alright, research finished. I think it's just the way the game gets this late in a playthrough. Alright, so we have a new carrier. Oh, it's almost done. The 8th of June. Oh, we can wait 4 more days. Oh, that's mislabeled. Alright. Alright, that's good. Now, actually, I was thinking the new civilian factory, not civilian, military factories need to go into small arms. Because we really do need to ramp up production there because we are way behind on upgrades. Alright, old Corvettes. Which we actually don't need, since we're researching this anyway. I mean, we might come back and just research them anyway once we have nothing else of any real use to do. Like, I think I should research this. So it may actually be better to hold off on these subs until I get all the way to the end on both of those subs, either or, and then just grab the one in the middle. Just checking to see if there's anything else of any real interest that we can do. We can start another line of carriers. Let's start working on the actual nuclear aircraft carriers. Why not? It's something to do. Equipment's being produced without any template. We are not using any engineering tanks. Yes, I'm aware. Okay, so that should have completed the aircraft carrier. Indeed it did. So let's switch over to the new CVs. There we go. Alright, you know what? We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. We're going to train up an army of armor, and we're going to put them in the mountains anyway, because it should work regardless. Wow, this is really slow. 8. And maybe because we just have so many divisions queued up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright. Drop them off somewhere, and I'll get to that. Alright, so next thing we want to do is we want to get another carrier group. And, you know, it would be nice to name a lot of these ships, but we are starting to produce them so quickly that, and then in such numbers, that it's just not practical for me to find names for all these things. I would be spending pretty much all of my time not recording this series doing that. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Create a new fleet. We're going to take 4 of the aircraft carriers. The 4 oldest, well, they're all CV. We got one 2005 carrier in here, which is actually a veteran. It's got sunk 5 enemy ships with 13 assists. Pretty good. Two, 3, 4. And then we're going to go do all nuclear battlecruisers, all guided missile, all of those guys. And this will be what? The 3rd carrier fleet? 1st carrier group, 2nd carrier group. Yes, this will be the 3rd carrier group. And we'll need an admiral. Alright, and we're going to need to see where we're going to put that guy. We may use that fleet to guard the Caribbean for the time being. So we have this fleet here, which we're still waiting for ships to repair. I think they're still repairing in Boston. Which they are. Repairs estimated to be finished in 2097. Wow. Really? Well, it's probably because this is a fairly small... Alright. We cancel repair task. Do it. Head back to the main fleet. So I think they're actually sitting in a pretty good port. Yes, I know we have large ships on low strength, but you're going to be much better served in a, like, real port. Because 50 years to repair a ship is kind of ridiculous. And that fleet, even at relatively reduced strength, is still better than nothing. Alright. Alright, so the first carrier group will handle probably the Baltic Sea, all around here. We have this fleet, which is the Black Sea Fleet, which is going to cover the Black Sea, protect this invasion. We're going to need a fleet to cover the Mediterranean, I think. I think I had a fleet that was going to do that. Well, the Black Sea Fleet should prevent anything from happening in the Mediterranean. The second carrier group, where are you guys? They're back. Okay, they're home. Okay. We may be able to send them to the Pacific if needed, or send them over here to guard the coastline. We're gonna have to see what the Russians actually do. We may need to send them up here into the North Atlantic as well to help protect there. Alright, so for air, we're going to need some coverage in the Baltic and Belarus. Which what we'll do is we'll bring our best air squadrons. I want you on bomber interception as well. Alright, and then we're going to need some close air support. And I think we do a combination of both attack helicopters. Hold on. Couple hundred attack helicopters and a squadron of close air support. They're probably going to flood this with a lot more planes than that. We may have to bring in more, but that is where we're going to set up for now. At least in that air zone, anyway. Now, we're going to want several hundred planes over here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to really do anything with the game actually running, which is a little bit weird. But let's bring a couple of hundred fighters. Oh, I keep forgetting to hold down the shift. Bring them over here. Put them up there. Make sure they're on bomber interception as well. And we're going to want close air support as well. We're just going to use attack helicopters in this instance. Bring them there, put them there. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring we're going to want some MPAs in the Baltic Sea, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring a squadron of maritime patrol aircraft here. We're going to put them here, put them on port strike. for the time being. The other guys are going to come here. We're going to put them up here. We're going to tell them to attack ships. And we're going to need some fighters to cover them as well. There we go. Wow. Civilian factories are free? Jeez. Alright, I think we've queued up all of the military factories that we possibly can get. Yes. We could use some radar stations in these areas. Let's get some radar stations along the borders. Let's go Horn of Africa 2. There we go. Alright, back to the aircraft. I don't think we need 400 planes over the English Channel. Let me take some of those planes. Let's move them over here. Put them over the Black Sea. I don't know if the Russians have a Black Sea fleet, but we might want another squadron of MPAs if we have any in stock. Let's see. We could use UAVs. There's another thing we could do. Maritime patrol. Yes. And actually, let's put those maritime patrol on port strike as well. So I think that Sevastopol is actually in the Black Sea air zone. Alright, so you don't really need to be there. These planes, let's transition them there. Actually, move them there. I want to take some planes that were here. We're going to put them over Libya. We can have you guys move to Libya as well. Switch your responsibilities there. Have you guys move down here. I don't think we actually need any planes over the Horn of Africa. Nope, we won't. So you guys can transition down here. these planes can move there. You guys head to the States. Or what used to be the States, anyway. Alright, you don't need to be there. You don't need to be there either. Any other planes somewhere they don't need to be. We don't need these guys over the Indian Ocean. So you guys can fly to there for Ecuador. You guys can fly to Ecuador as well. You don't need to do supply runs anymore. And I think that reorganizes most of our active air squadrons, and we can reposition as needed if... multi-role fighters. I see, I see. Let's get you up here. Air superiority and close air support. More those close air support. Let's put them there. Tell them the close air support. More multi-role fighters. We might need them here. Let's build up that airfield and make it a priority. Alright, better recon tanks. Not that we're actually using them. But we might as well grab them anyway. I could put some armored recon somewhere. We really have 518,000 ATGMs. We must have captured a ton of that stuff. Alright, here's another squadron that's assigned to do something that it maybe... Nope, that's transports. Okay, any more of those white arrows indicating that there's a squadron assigned to something? No, transports. Okay, it looks good, actually. We'll definitely probably need to deploy more squadrons as the war progresses and we see where the Russians are distributing their planes. Because we should have a lot in reserve now. We have those drones that we can flood into an air zone. Small arms, right? Small arms, small arms. There they are. Alright, so I think we're probably at the end of this episode here. The fleet is pretty much ready. Those guys merge in. Now, these ships that are undergoing repairs, March of 2052. That's a little bit more reasonable. It's 84 ships. This thing can service that whole fleet. Good. So it's like 4 years to repair that ship. Alright, let's tell you that your home is... Actually, I already did. And are you... Automatic split off is disabled. We may enable that. We'll see what happens. It's going to be some time before we declare the war anyway, because we got to wait for some troops to train. Well, we got to wait for a lot of troops to train. Looks like we're short something. Airborne IFVs. Oh, what else is new? We're short 1,000 of them. And it says we're losing them? Is that due to attrition because they're moving? Possibly. I mean, these guys should be fine. Yeah, I'm not sure we will be losing airborne IFVs. Interesting. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead, we're going to end the episode here. There we go, now we're positive. That's really weird. Maybe I'll have to divert some factories to assist with that, because that's going to take 101 days. Alright, well, that's okay. Alright, so what I'll probably do is keep an eye on how things are moving, and we'll see where we're at when we come back. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.